Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today is Saturday, June 29th, and this is my weekly wrap-up. Can't believe that June is already wrapping up, that we're almost into July. So I have been continuing with the group reading of James Joyce's Ulysses. And right now we are up to chapter 15 out of 18 chapters. So we're making good headway. This chapter 15 that's coming up is a long one. And we are having a live stream discussion later today about the novel. So I'm sure that Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads and Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics, who are hosting this event, I'm sure they will make the live stream discussion available after the discussion ends. This go around of Ulysses for me has been really challenging. I know I've said in other videos that I've read this book before. I read it in college and I read it in graduate school, and I'm coming at it again many years later, many years since I finished graduate school, and it's been a struggle. This time around, it's been very difficult, and I am regularly reading supplementary material to go along with it to help, and that's a good thing, because it would be it would be probably impossible without some of the other things that I'm reading. Okay. In addition, I have finished 2 more novels in my Star Trek reading. I'm participating in BookTrek 2024, and I read another Vonda McIntyre novel. This one is Enterprise, The First Adventure. And this is kind of a prequel to the original series. This novel tells the story, or at least Vonda McIntyre's version. I think there are other versions of this, but it's her version of how the crew eventually came to be together. So this is where they all meet. And then I'd been reading I think that's the 3rd Vonda McIntyre that I read, and I've been reading a lot of the really old books from the original series, and I decided to read a new one this week. This is still the original series, but this is a novel that was published, I think, in 2021, yes, 2021. And this is Living Memory by Christopher Bennett. And the novel is dedicated to Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura. And so this was the first of the, it deals with the original cast, but it's the first of the new Star Trek novels that I have read. So I'm going to do a separate video just on BookTrek, but that's what I completed this week. But I'm going to review both of those in a separate video coming up very soon. Then also I've continued this week with my poetry shorts, and thank you to my faithful viewers who are watching those and continuing to comment. And I've also continued this week with Poetry Thursday. A week ago, I had done a Poetry Thursday episode on the poetry of cats, at the request of Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, and that went over so well that this week I did an episode devoted to the poetry of dogs, and that was also very well received. I seem to be taking requests now. I have a surprise video coming up next week, and I don't want to say any more about it right now, because I can't keep secrets, and I'll end up I will give it away, so I'm not going to do that. but I've been having a lot of fun with these. These thematic poetry Thursdays seem to have a certain appeal. And I got a couple other suggestions from people of things that they would like to hear poetry about. So I've got a few more up my sleeve coming soon. And then I completed the novels. These were rereads for me, but I have a live book group that meets, and the group had chosen to read Donal Ryan's The Queen of Dirt Island, which has been a reread for me. I read this in the second round for the BookTube Prize Awards, and I believe this is still in the semifinal round now. I know it moved on after the quarterfinals. So my book group decided to read this, and because it's a relatively short novel, it's only 240 pages, someone in the group decided that we should add another Irish novel, so we added the novella Claire Keegan's Foster, which is a reread for me. This is, I think, the first Claire Keegan book that I read and fell in love with Claire Keegan and her style and her just the topics that she writes about. This book had a very, very powerful effect on me. And then I went back and read everything I could find that Claire Keegan has written. I'm going to talk about both of these books. Well, I've already talked about Queen of Dirt Island, but I'll talk about it in another video. I'm going to talk about both of these after my book group meets to discuss. But these were two things that I reread this week. And then we are, as we're facing July starts on Monday. We're kicking off Rocket Summer, which is an event where we're reading classic science fiction, and I posted a video about that yesterday, and I'm very excited about this event where we're reading science fiction from the beginnings, so in the 19th century, through 1969. That's considered classic science fiction. And we also have Jane Austen July coming up, which I will also be participating in, but those things are for another video. The big video that I'm working on right now is my question and answer, my answer part in response to your questions, which you left on my gratitude video, which I put out earlier in the week about my having reached 1,000 subscribers, which still just amazes me and blows my mind. I wanted to keep the question area open. I think I said through Sunday, the 30th. So if you still have questions, there are a lot there now, and I'm trying to do this in one video, but I don't want it to be a video that's going to bore everybody to tears. So I may make it 2 shorter videos, but if there is anyone who has a question that you wanted to ask that you haven't asked yet, if you could leave it on the comments, in the comments of my gratitude video, and I'll put a link to that here in I'll put a link in the notes for this video. So I'm just excited. I'm excited to continue the Ulysses read along in July, and that also counts for one of the big books of the summer. That counts for that reading event as well. And I'm anxious to get into classic science fiction and Jane Austen. So I think that's it for my wrap up for today. as always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.